First story, AITA for reacting wrong to my brother's engagement. The author of the post is listed in the description. So on Sunday, I, 19F, learned on a Zoom call with my family that my brother Harry, 22M, has just gotten engaged to just girlfriend Jessica, 20F. When Harry told us, everyone but me was pretty enthusiastic, but I just kind of sighed and said nothing. Harry didn't display any reaction towards my admittedly lukewarm reaction, but afterwards my mom called me and told me that I was rude for not being excited. She said that I need to respect all members of the family, including Jessica, and that I need to reconsider my behavior if I want to be invited to our vacation in the spring. Harry and I were really close growing up. Since he, and then I, started college, we've been less close, but him and I still talk every week or two. Harry and Jessica have been together for around 2 years now. Here's where it gets complicated. I knew Jessica back in high school, and she was not what you would call a kind soul. She had a particularly nasty streak. She would not pay attention during class and always tried to cheat off of people's homework, and I assume got away with it. She tried, semi-successfully, to steal my boyfriend. She bullied one of my best friends, calling her fat among other things. This bullying worsened, if not caused altogether, her eating disorder, and it's something I've never been able to forgive or forget. She is just one of those people who would just mess around with other people's lives like it's a game, and not something she is invested in. About 6 months ago, I had a heart-to-heart with Harry about Jessica. I laid out my concerns and the history of her behavior, hoping it might make him reconsider or at least think deeply about their relationship. He said he'd consider what I said, but didn't continue the conversation much more. Since then, we talked regularly as usual and things seemed normal between us. He didn't talk about Jessica often, but he didn't hide their relationship either. I really was happy it sounded like it might be dying off, though. I had no idea he was getting engaged to her until he announced it. I don't know if he has been telling other people in the family besides me, or if it was really just an abrupt decision. To make it worse, I am worried that he told Jessica about our conversation 6 months ago. In her announcement on Facebook, annoying ring-on-hand photograph in tow, she wrote something like, "I know not everyone in our families are supportive, but we have each other and that's what matters." So, he ignored my warning, and he told her all about it. Part of me wonders if I should just swallow my feelings for the sake of family harmony. But another part of me feels like I'd be betraying my old friend, my own values, and my brother by pretending to be happy about this engagement. And I am bad at holding back my truth. So, AITA for feeling upset and possibly wanting to voice my concerns again, even though it might cause friction in my family? Or should I just keep my feelings to myself and let Harry make his own decisions and mistakes? I just feel like there's nobody who I can talk about this with that will really understand. Edit. Okay, thanks for all the responses, people. I will take some advice. Talk to Mom and explain exactly what it is that Jessica has done and try to make her understand. Talk to Harry about our conversation before and find out how much of it he shared with Jessica and how she responded to what I said. Potentially talk to Jessica, seek therapy someday, haha. I'm really not in a position to go no contact with my family, and I still do want them in my life. I might post an update, but also it seems like the rules are kind of strict on that which is fair. Message me or something if you want to hear what happens, haha. Relevant comments. Commenter. Info. When was the last time you talked to Jessica? Lots of people who are a-holes during high schools change immensely during college or thereafter. Oop. I haven't talked to her in at least 2 years, aside from kind of saying hello over speakerphone, but from her social media, I really don't think she's changed. She's acting like an asshole in general and a pick-me towards my brother. Commenter. Afterwards, my mom called me and told me that I was rude for not being excited. No, you weren't. You just weren't excited. You are entitled to your own feelings, and that I need to reconsider my behavior if I want to be invited to our vacation in the spring. Oh, I see. So if you don't react the way your mother wants you to react, she'll exclude you from family events. Got it. That's messed up. I wouldn't worry too much if Jessica is aware of your conversation with your brother, if at least she knows you're wary, and rightly so. You are NTA for feeling the way you do or for your reaction to the news. Your mother is a bit of AH, though. That's some Class A manipulation she's using. Time will tell if things work out for your brother and Jessica or not, but as long as you are polite without compromising your personal values, things should be fine. If she decides to get nasty, don't hide your experience of it or your feelings about it, but also know that very often people outgrow their immature tendencies, and she could become a very decent person. This whole situation reminds me of that movie, You Again, lol. Oop, thank you. TBH, I'm kind of used to this kind of thing from my mother. She likes to hold stuff over our heads. One time my siblings and I all got forced to miss a play we were going to see because we weren't actually excited for it, even though I had been learning all about it and was really looking forward. Part of me wonders if she just didn't want to spend the money, haha. I'm not sure that this is what's going on here, though. I truly do hope she's either outgrown it or Harry sees her nasty side before the wedding. Update. So, a lot of people commented and sent me messages asking for an update to my previous post about unenthusiastic reaction to my brother's engagement announcement. Well, here it is. After reading people's replies, it sounds like the predominant opinion was that while I might not have been the asshole immediately, I would become one if I kept pushing too hard against my brother's relationship, and I really don't want Harry to think I don't support him, or to not talk to me about personal relationship matters. So, I pretty much had decided to keep quiet and just go along with whatever Harry wanted. On Tuesday, he messaged me asking if I want to be a bridesmaid in Jessica's wedding party or a groomsmaid in his wedding party. After a little bit of back and forth, it became clear that he asked me because he knew I wasn't totally keen on Jessica, but still wanted me involved with the wedding. I was trying to be supportive, so I said it would be great to get to know Jessica better by being a bridesmaid, though I wasn't exactly looking forward to the experience. I admit, though, I had a little bit of an ulterior motive. From what I know of Jessica, she completely changes how she acts based on who she is around, which is how she manipulated Harry into proposing, of course. I thought that, just maybe, if I could show Harry how Jessica acts with her girls, he might reconsider his decision to marry her. Anyway, on Thursday, I got added to a Facebook Messenger chat named Brilliant Bridal Bitch-Azzies, wherein Jessica laid out her ground rules for being in the bridal party. They are almost verbatim. 1. Participation in my bridal party is not just an honor, it's an investment. Be prepared to spend at least $1,000 on attire and accessories alone. I can make exceptions, but only if you ask me. 2. I alone will dictate the narrative of my wedding on social media. Any premature posts, especially unflattering photos of me, will result in immediate expulsion. 3. Your weight will be monitored weekly. Anyone not fitting into their dress will be kindly asked to step down. This wedding will look picture perfect, and I can't have you ruining the aesthetics. 4. From now until the wedding, I expect you to be on call 24/7. Wedding emergencies are real, and your commitment to solving them will be a true test of your friendship. 5. You will fund and organize a lavish bachelorette party in my honor. Think exotic destination, luxury accommodations, and Instagram-worthy moments. 6. You will have fun. Not just for your sake, but for me as well. Upon reading this, I just burst out laughing. Screenshot, click. I think I might be able to convince Harry from marrying Jessica after all. I'm just deciding now if I should play it cool and act like the rules are normal but bring it up with Harry, or maybe show my mother because I know it would make her flip, and almost certainly forgive me for sighing when Harry told us about the engagement. Top comments. Commenter, wow, if Harry was smart, he would run. Commenter, OP, be smart. Tell your brother you changed your mind, and when he asks why, send him the screenshot and say you are not following these rules. You have to lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can't make him see, then he will just have to figure it out. He will likely say those rules don't apply to you, but you can say, I don't think the bride would agree. Play it cool. Again, the more you force them apart, the closer they will become just to prove you wrong. Commenter, okay, if you want to play dirty, don't go to your mother and like, aha, see, I told you. Go to her crying and worried. $1,000 for clothes and accessories. Where are you going to come with that kind of money? And why should you lose all that money for a party? Remember, if you ask your parents to help pay for things, that's at least $1,000 out of their own pocket. Second story. Tifu by accepting a $50 dare. This happened last weekend, but close enough. I, 21M, am a college student, and a homie invited me to some frat party. Having not much better to do, I went. I arrived fashionably late, and it was crowded already. I started drinking a lot and socializing a bit. For some reason, the topic of gymnastics came up, and I mentioned that my mom had me in gymnastics until I was 14. The group I was talking with got excited about that. They cleared a path, and I did a back handspring, followed by a round of applause. Felt like an elite athlete, despite having sat on my ass for the past couple of years. Had a few more beers, then went out on the balcony to have a smoke. There, I was talking about my sports endeavors with some guy I had spoken to earlier. He used to be a swimmer. He asked me if I thought I could do a backflip off the balcony and land on my feet on the table. There was a set of sturdy wooden lawn furniture on the grass right beneath the balcony, and it wasn't that high of a drop. I figured I would probably end up fine even if I missed the table. I told him for $50 I probably could. I guess bro really wanted to see me pull that off, so he said sure. We shook hands on it and I got up onto the railing. I had some minor doubts at that point, but I couldn't let down the people watching me. So I jumped backwards, with slightly too much force, which caused me to do 1.5 backflips. I didn't land on my feet on the table, or even softly on the grass, but instead wrapped my spine around the backrest of one of the chairs. Absolutely knocked the wind out of me. Briefly thought I had broken my back in like 7 different places and was now paralyzed. I genuinely couldn't move and had to have some guys lift me off and put me on the ground. That's when the pain actually hit me, followed by a wave of relief because that meant I was, in fact, not paralyzed. People were arguing about whether or not to call an ambulance, and once I was able to fill my lungs with air again, I told them not to. I felt like a stupid jackass for failing at this simple task, and I stood up to prove I was fine. My back still hurt so fucking bad, like a weird, sharp, but also radiating pain, quite nauseating. With a lot of effort, I went inside and sat my ass down on a couch where I was served beer by a few homies who thought my miserable stunt was entertaining regardless. Well, the next day wasn't much better. The middle of my back formed a nice line of a perfectly symmetrical 3-inch wide bruise. Bending forwards, backwards, or sideways hurt. So did breathing in a bit too deep. Pretty nasty. And turns out my neck also took a bit of a beating from being slammed backwards. It feels like I just rode every roller coaster at Six Flags without bracing myself whatsoever. A week later, I feel like I've been hit by a car rather than a truck. So that's an improvement. And I probably gained a solid reputation of an overconfident loser, so that's something. There might be a great lesson to learn here, like don't get drunk and do stupid shit, even if offered money for it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Comments. Commenter. Listen, mate. It's been a week. You feel better. You need to do what you should have done night 1 before even moving. Go to the doctor. If anything is fractured, you could have it fuse back in place incorrectly, causing lifelong damage or pain. Get to the doctor. Tell them what happened. If you're 100% fine, you are lucky and can rest easy, if not early, and they might be able to fix. Remember this for the next time you end up in such a predicament. Internal bleeding or hemorrhaging may not be visible and could be deadly. Any serious fall like this, do not move. Call an ambulance. Follow the instructions. Gotcha. We'll keep that one in mind. Thanks. Commenter. You still need to see a doctor. Deciding not see one is a bad decision. It's a stupid decision. How many bad decisions have you made in your life, and how many more do you want to regret making? Right. My back right now feels less horrendous than last week, though. More like stiff soreness rather than actually throbbing pain. That's gotta mean my body is fixing stuff on its own, I suppose. Commenter. Dog, did you not internalize that other comment telling you that something could fuse incorrectly? Update. I posted here the other day with my fuck-up of taking a bet to backflip off a balcony, miserably failing and landing on my back on the backrest of a chair. I'd been lazy as fuck since that day. But yesterday, I genuinely felt better and decided I would be fine to go into the city's center and interview people for a project all day. Throughout the next couple of hours, the pain went from somewhat tolerable discomfort to agonizing deep pressure. I thought, whatever, I'll just sit down. But nope, no position or stretch or anything even slightly alleviated it. Getting into my car caused an overwhelming pinching sensation in my spine, and it was like my legs didn't work as well as they should. I could barely exert enough force to properly operate the pedals. I had previously convinced myself that this situation would just go away on its own if I stopped being a baby about it, but at this point I realized something was very much fucked. So in the late afternoon, I drove myself to the nearest ER. Getting out of the car was even worse. It felt like my entire back just locked up, and every step sent a shock through my body. I straight up puked in the hallway from sheer exhaustion and pain the second I walked through the door. Luckily, I was seen pretty shortly and given something for the pain so they could examine me. Welp, turns out I literally walked around with a broken back for over a week. Compression fracture in 8T for the smart people here. Got scolded a fair bit for not coming in sooner. Shifted 2 discs in the same area too. Doctor told me I'm really fucking lucky I didn't severely jack up a nerve or anything. Said all the standing, walking I had been doing put crazy strain on my spine. The stiffness was caused by muscle spasms. Figured I'd post an update. Like I said, IFR thought I would just heal on my own. Anyway, just got home from the hospital. They did so many different scans on me I might grow a 3rd arm. My doctor said I have to take it really fucking easy until my next checkup, and I'm already low-key bored not being allowed to do shit LOL. But feeling better on some meds, so that's all good. But yeah, nah, I probably could have saved myself some pain if I had just gone to the hospital immediately like my buddies. And a few dozen people on here advised me to. I also doubt I'll be setting any deadlift PRs anytime soon, which sucks because I was getting hella strong. Live and learn or something. Comments. Commenter. One thing I've always been taught. If the injury is to the head or the spine, then get to the hospital even if you feel fine. How do you like these stories? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.